business is hard. Now, besides getting people's attention to begin with, gaining customers is the hardest part. So once you have customers, there's very little doubt that holding on to them is the most important thing you can be doing to ensure your business's continued success. So now let's talk about customer win-backs. And I'm going to lump the idea of win-backs in with the broader topic of customer service because, except when there's a monetary incentive on the table, win-backs, which are often thought of as sales endeavors and handled by sales departments, aren't really about sales at all. Pure and simple, win-backs are a customer service, or some kind of service anyway, activity. Customer service, as you know, is a big deal in these parts, so it's no surprise I was moved to wax prolific when our old buddy Fred Wilson posted about the subject of win-backs. And at Fred's Bastion O Business Leaders, it was also no surprise that many people expressed the same idea I did, if not always for the same reasons. You should go give that a read. There's an issue with the idea of win-backs, though. Most of the time, the idea of having a win-back campaign is treated as a revenue issue, and yeah, well, it is that. But in meaningful terms, there's no reason for ex-customers to respond well to a win-back attempt, save monetary issues of their own. I learned about this when I worked at Verizon. That's the real phone company, not Verizon Wireless. I was a business development manager in the New York City Win-backs initiative, where our job was to convince businesses that they had opted to buy Verizon services from resellers, and that was a mistake. They should come home to us. Verizon Win-backs was a spectacular failure. We operated in an interesting space. Our teams had sales quotas to hit, and so we were under the pressures that those create. But we were also charged with finding ways to improve Verizon's image in the business community. Problem was, the Verizon win-back campaign was mostly lip service. There were benefits to cutting out the middleman, sure, but we weren't really offering anything new, and in most cases, our cost was more than buying from our resellers. In other words, the pitch was disingenuous, and our targets saw through it. They had no reason to buy into the idea of coming home to Verizon. The solution to this would have been providing great customer service, and that wasn't happening because, Verizon. And because we also didn't have the manpower to provide it. We were a sales operation. Our engineering resources reported elsewhere, as did our service team. Ugh. Now, none of this is especially surprising, as we pointed out fully 5 years ago. When customer service becomes viewed as a profit center instead of a necessary expense, it ceases to mean anything. And once customer service becomes an oxymoron, you have a big problem, one that invoking a word like win-backs is not going to fix. There's also no question that maintaining your existing customers is both easier and less expensive than finding new ones. And the low-hanging fruit concept associated with win-backs is difficult to ignore. But without understanding what your customers need and showing them that coming home will deliver it, win-backs are no more likely to succeed than any other sales initiatives. Makes sense, right? And now you're wondering how you can recast your business for win-back success? Click through to reach us. I'm the Answer Guy, and I'll be back.